Hello, everybody. Give everyone a couple of moments to join. Just wanted to say thanks for being patient. Mr. Apollo does appreciate that extra time for his walk. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. Welcome to the weekly collective reading. Let me go ahead and move the volume down there. So looks like everybody's here. Thank you so much for taking some time to join me. I hope your weekend is getting off to a great start here. You are watching a weekly collective reading, and during this reading, basically what we're going to do is look at all of the energy for the next 7 days. You chose a special topic which kind of surprised me, success and self-fulfillment. For a while, I saw that we had basically removing blocks. I may still pull an extra card for that because I saw members kind of chose it, but it still did win the majority, the self-fulfillment. So we'll just kind of see how everything goes today. Since we're not doing sound baths anymore, I may have time for an extra one card pull. So also very grateful that we were able to get together today because my internet, I spent like 3 hours yesterday troubleshooting with the tech to try to get this working. So in the end, it's all working just fine. All right, let's get started. We're going to begin with channeled messages. This is basically me working with my dream interpretation and also with meditation, basically me and spirit at the beginning of each morning. And let me pull up the slide here and we'll begin. All right, today it was kind of weird, but I go with what I get. So here's what I saw. In dreams this morning, I kept seeing zombies. And to me, it's a really clear indication to connect it to the death card. And it actually has a very easy to interpret connotation, which is the in-between state between once something has stopped and then the next level. So zombies kind of stuck, right? And I think one of the things that we're going to have to look at this week, whether or not it was the main topic, that's how it works, spirit will come through anyway, is how to get unstuck. So, you know, for those of you that voted to kind of see that, we're going to look at it anyway because of this. What you can focus on this week is if you're holding on to something and it's just not really going where it needs to be, whether it's a relationship, a project, a job, this is about looking beyond that and thinking, all right, well, what else can I do? What else is out there? Where is the energy more receptive and moving? And I always advise that actually, like focus on where it's fluid and moving. You know, today we even had like a daily card pull where there was a tower, and I think it was the Knight of Cups, and change for the better. So this is very much in the flow of that. And if you're willing to be an agent of change, you can avoid the tower altogether. So if something has come to a close, it's so that you can explore new things. I used a big word there, the liminal space. Liminal just means in between. So maybe for some of you, there's just this hesitation, like, am I ready? Can I do this, etc.? And these are kind of normal butterflies. Butterfly being a very good metaphor as well for change and movement. I think the one thing that you could do today that would really help is just to try something different. Rather than repeating something that has already been done, explore new opportunities, new things, and that's going to help you out. Also, because I was seeing something that didn't show optimal health, focusing on physical, mental, and spiritual well-being absolutely would be something that is advantageous no matter what you decide to do this week. All right. Cyclically speaking, though, we're going to look at how to break things up and try new things. And when I look at the 7-day forecast in just a couple of minutes, it should all become a little bit more clear. The second thing that came through, and this was actually the day prior, and I was going to record a video, and I'm like, okay, this is actually for the collective because I had to deal with internet issues yesterday. I kept seeing dogs in my dreams the day before. So there are two cards that actually connect with that particular symbol, the Fool and the Moon card. So if we look at the Fool card, it actually is like loyalty, companionship. The Moon actually represents instinct. And this is a moment in time where all of these things are going to really play an important role. But if we look at the Moon card, in those relationships, in things that are kind of normally loyalty, there may be something that comes through and tests the sort of like the strength of the relationship. And being as honest as possible, honest with yourself, honest with friends, partnerships, etc., and having as much integrity as possible. These are the things that are going to help. This is not a time to sort of like back down from either of those. The Moon card can also represent things like peer pressure, groupthink, or pack mentality. So there may be something where you also need to deviate and do something that's right and different from what's expected. And so again, a little bit of what we were just talking about, stepping out and trying new things, are going to be really, really important. Okay, we'll kind of take a deeper dive and go back to this as necessary. But right now, we're going to look at a 7-day forecast. And I'm going to use an old deck that I haven't used in a while. I used this when the channel first started, and I was just kind of looking at all my decks. I'm like, okay, let's pull this out. I think this is Spellcasters or Modern Spellcasters. All of my decks are on my website. I know Dakota gets that question a lot, but if you need to see it, you can go there. All right, everybody, close your eyes if you will. Let's focus on the energy of the week ahead and see what Spirit has to say about that. This is, again, for everybody present. We're going to do a little bit of a breakdown into the elemental forecast after this, but for this portion, it's for all that are present. All right. Sunday, Monday, let's turn down the glare a little bit. There we go. Tuesday, Wednesday, lots of reversals. There we go. So I'll get comments all the time. Watch what you're doing. Make sure you're shuffling correctly. You know what? There's a 50-50 chance every time if you read reversals that you're going to get it. So why not just focus on the message and know that with each card that we get, all it basically does is tell me what to focus on. So when people say don't read reversals, that's like avoiding half of the alphabet. So let's just relax, and I'll read each card and let you know how to create it in the upright position and why it might be coming through blocked, okay? I just like to put that out there so that nobody gets worried about why reversals appear. There's literally a 50-50 chance every time you pull a card. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the week ahead. We're going to focus on today. This is Sunday, and let's talk about why the Ace of Pentacles came through in the reverse state. Simply put, this is a chance for you to invest in yourself because the Ace of Pentacles represents value. A reverse card represents something that's going on within yourself. Some of you are starting to think a little bit about how invested am I in ... this relationship, this job, this idea. So it could just be an internal question popping through your head. Is this for me? This could also be a chance for you to look at things like your money, your savings, and think, is this enough? Is the trade-off enough? If you're getting paid a certain amount to work, like me on a Sunday or something, and you're like, it's not worth it, that's okay. That's what this card is about. Critical thinking, questioning, being inquisitive, and then looking at your resources and what you're getting back. That's it. And I wouldn't necessarily get that if it wasn't reversed. In the upright position, I would say maybe there's an offer on the table. Maybe there's an opportunity for growth or development, or you're going to go with an idea. But the reversal is more nuanced. It's like, is this enough? Why am I doing it? It creates a question. And that's why I actually love reversals, because they can teach us those things. It could also be you asking for something. So where it's upright and you're getting it, the ace hand is literally like, in Rider-Waite-Smith, there's a hand that's kind of reaching out for it. In the reverse state, it could be you saying, I need this. Can I count on you for that as well? So it's just time to be communicative and to explore all things money, resource, time, energy. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the next day here. We're looking at Monday. And it's interesting that we have the Sun card coming through. I see a lot of cross chat about dates and cards, and let's just focus on what we're looking at right here. So on Monday, we have the Sun card in reverse. In the upright position, we can see the baby that's normally a part of that, but we actually have twinning energy here. So one thing that I'm picking up on here is it's a great day to partner up. Even though this is normally a very self-oriented card, even ego-based card, the reversal of this and the addition of the extra baby shows that on Monday, you could get more done by partnering up with someone, reaching out to someone, etc. In the upright state, it's also a birthing card. So for some of you, you may be holding on to things just a little bit longer than you need to. So this is a great time to just simply let go of something that's already completed, okay? Let me see if there's anything else that I want to focus on. I love what we see here where she's basically taking this strand and weaving it into something. It's like not a loom, but there's a better, it's like spinning. Oh yeah, there's that phrase where you can take, what is it, straw and spin it to gold. So I feel like on Monday, many of you can actually take something that other people wouldn't see the value in and really take it to the next level. So partnership can help with that. And then also just follow through on your own vision and know that something is closer to completion than you may give it credit for. Okay? So that looks great. Let's take a look now at the energy of Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have the Three of Swords coming through. It's reversed. That shows healing. In the upright position, it means that some of you may still be dealing with a little bit of, sort of like you might still be in the throes of pain, but in the reverse state, it's saying, I'm done with this. I'm ready to move on. Or it could simply be the understanding that this isn't enough for me. I'm not happy with this. So the question with the Three of Swords in reverse, if you know what you don't like, what are you going to kind of focus on to create joy, satisfaction, etc. in your life? So acknowledgement of discontent is one thing, but what is the next step? And that's basically the prompt here from the card. Also, it's saying if you're unhappy, don't be shy when it comes to reaching out to help, to get assistance or help or whatever, or taking care of yourself. Definitely Tuesday is more of a self-care day. I don't think it's a great day to have, for instance, any sort of meeting where you have to have a difficult negotiation or difficult conversation, because your own emotional state may be a little bit more sensitive and you may be speaking from a place of agitation. So this is a day to focus on taking care of yourself, healing yourself, and taking any action in your life to help with all of those things, okay? Wednesday's much better. You can have a conversation on Wednesday, in fact. Get to the point. That's why the Page of Swords is reversed. In the upright position, the Page of Swords is just about open communication, listening, speaking, writing, getting things out there, taking them from the conception of a thought or an idea and bringing them into action. The reversed state can actually indicate editing or altering. So you're allowed to change your mind, you're allowed to speak up, and if you're doing any of these things, less is more. So in the realm of editing, don't change something so much that you lose the original idea. When it comes to communication, keep it short, simple, sweet, and as constructive as possible. That's everything that I have to say on Wednesday. Things could happen faster than you think. Normally we get more of a speed element with the night, but I'm getting a little bit of that. This could be more in the realm of like a reply, an email, etc., but it might be a short reply. Yep, let's do it. That doesn't mean the person is being snappy with you. It just means they may not have a lot of time and they're trying to be expedient in the way that they're replying. Looking at the energy of Thursday, you have a choice to make. So the Two of Pentacles is always one of reestablishing, or maybe even for the first time establishing balance. This is kind of a continuation of what we talked about for today. Something may not be enough to continue. Some of you are sometimes pulled between a lot of things. You may spread yourself too thin. And this is a day where the universe is really coming through and saying it's time to cut one of those strings, to say no, or to ask for more and say, if you want me to do this, I need assistance. Or, I think we both want this done, but this is the only way it's going to happen. We need more time, energy, money, or people on board to make this work. Focus on work-life balance as well. I usually don't read this just as a money card. It's about like, am I getting enough in all aspects of my life to kind of feel balanced and happy and supported? We have the dog coming through again here, so loyalty, energy, and all the stuff that I was talking about earlier. If there's something that needs to be dealt with in a relationship, how much energy you're putting in versus them, this is the day to talk about that reciprocity, okay? It looks like you can reestablish balance by the end of the day, but it's about articulating it, talking about it, okay? Now, focusing on the energy of Friday, we have the Magician. So did someone say it felt like a rough week? I feel like we're getting into a better energy this week, and it's going to end on a really positive note, so let's focus on that. You can make it happen. Even if things seem a little challenging or aren't obvious, like how am I going to do this? It feels like you're going to pull it all together like a rabbit out of a hat, because a magician can do that. We also see an interesting illustration here where the snake is shedding its skin. So for many of you, all of the things that I was talking about, let's just look at the cards here because it kind of answers like, what would you be shedding? For some of you, there could be some emotional drama or trauma that you're deciding to get beyond. For some of you, you're deciding to change course or change your mind. For some of you, you're cutting out something from your schedule that's, kind of like impeding with balance. You may also be letting go of something. And all of this by the time Friday comes around allows you to then focus your energy and your intention. A magician is good as long as they're focused. Yes, they have to believe, but they also need to focus on one thing typically at a time rather than focusing on everything at once, because that desaturates, or basically there's a better word here, but it basically doesn't allow them to be as powerful or as direct. So waters down is what I was trying to say. It waters down the intensity or the clarity of whatever it is that you're trying to do. A great day for connecting with spirit. This is a good day for a date. You wouldn't always read the magician as that, but it is, because it represents chemistry. So if you want to meet up with somebody, this is a great day to do so. And you also have the ability to pull people into a new idea or concept. So persuasive energy, definitely on a high note. So you can do whatever you want to on Friday, but the key thing here is focus. And that's the last thing that I have to say with that. All right, looking at next Saturday, pretty good overall. This is about exploring options. I said trying new things is good. The Seven of Cups is not making up your mind before you've had a chance to see what it is. So it's like someone saying, oh, I hate that food, like a kid, but they've never really tried it. So give yourself a chance to sample, to taste, to explore something new before making up your decision or making up your mind. And also, by the way, this could be too many pieces of advice rolling in. Friends, family, online reviews, there comes a point where it can actually create what's the best word? Like the stalemate, where you just like, I don't know what to do. And this is the math meme card. I like to pull it out. So too many things equals confusion. Take a couple things off the table, focus on really what matters, and vet out the opinions, because everybody has one. So make sure that the person giving an opinion actually is coming from a place of experience. Take your time, but don't sort of like overwhelm yourself, okay? And by the end of the weekend, next weekend, decision time. Usually when Seven of Cups is reversed, it's saying it's time to decide. You've done enough exploration. So I would say definitely by the time we get to the next card here, the Queen of Swords, then it's going to be time not only to communicate a decision, but also take some action on it. So this is definitely one of the highlight cards for the week. We have the Queen of Swords. Interesting that she has this sort of bull or ox right by her. So really getting grounded in the communication and grounding it, because she's pulling in a little bit of earth energy there. Maybe for some of you, like me, you have a Taurus placement. My Taurus is my moon. So it can help you out because it helps ground you in what's important. So even if you don't have earth energy, this is about grounding yourself in resource, facts, and data, and then communicating from a place of that knowledge. Queen of Swords is one of the best sort of court cards that you can pull because she's direct. I would even say she's kind of like, she's someone that you would listen to because she has gravitas, fierce, like she's ferocious and going after what she wants. So don't be afraid to stand up for something that matters. Just make sure you're backing it up with facts and information, okay? Great day to take action, great day to write, to communicate, to lead. She's one of the best leader cards you can ask for. I would definitely want a Queen of Swords on my team. All right, let's look at highlights and challenges for this week ahead, and then we'll move on to the elemental forecast. Okay, so highlights. I mean, Friday and Sunday are the best days. They were the upright cards for the week. This says you can do anything you put your mind to. This is you actually doing that and following through. So those are the highlights. I would say the biggest challenge for many of you because of the emotional component is probably Tuesday. I would also say Thursday because you have to make a decision. And the Two of Pentacles sometimes can show that you're torn between two. Whether it's the Two of Swords or the Two of Pentacles, there's not always like a clear way to get through it. Sometimes you just have to say it like no or stop or whatever. And once you pull off the Band-Aid, things start to heal, okay? Let's go ahead and move into the elemental portion of this reading. This is going to help us fine tune for all of the signs. This is going to be fire, earth, air, and water. Let me turn the camera down and choose a deck of cards for this. Let's see. All right. Let's just create a little more space. Fire. Woo! Earth, you got two. They actually flew out of the deck. Fire, earth, air, and water. Let's see what's coming through. We're going to begin with fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. It's all cyclical. We talked about that earlier. This is a really unique Eight of Pentacles. Typically, we would see someone sort of with a chisel and kind of working away at something, and you see all the pentacles above him. Here we kind of see, instead of the traditional approach, we see moon cycles coming through, and we can see things, everything's kind of flowing. The hands-on approach is right there. Let's take the graphic off for a second. So for some of you, this is an encouragement to be more hands-on, since we have those sort of creative hands at the bottom, and not to kind of get mixed up in what everyone else is doing. So I talked about being ready and willing to sort of like work on your own. Today's a great day to work on your own. Monday, then you can start up with the partnership. And the Eight of Pentacles in reverse is also a card of looking at the facts and the fine print. Because this is a card of learning, just like Three of Pentacles. But this one is much more in the weeds, much more detailed. So for some of you, you may have missed something that could be obvious, but you might be tired, or there's a fact or figure or piece of information or a hidden resource, and it only comes through when you take the time to review it. I think it would be great if something is due to get someone else to look at it, and if you're being pushed to deliver something before it's ready, to slow down. Do it right the first time. That's what this card is saying, basically. And we have the moon cycles. They're saying that for some of you, it could take one more month or one more cycle of the moon before everything is finished. You're the best judge of when you're ready to move forward, but that's what I've got there. This can also be a card of training. So those of you that want to focus on education, research, or learning this week, absolutely. And when we're just looking at money and resources, overall, the Eight of Pentacles is pretty good. The defining factor on this one, or feature, is the hands. And you still see that hands-on approach in the traditional card. So don't give away that ability to, sort of like put your touch on something. And don't underestimate the importance of rolling up your sleeves and really getting something done. Okay? Overall, good energy. I like the Eight of Pentacles. Reverse, just saying take your time and revise and get a second set of eyes on that. Let's move on from fire to earth. So, earth signs. We have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. You got two. Let's talk about what came through here. I love the first of the two. The Two of Wands is your ability to work on vision work or planning or kind of projecting out into the future. The typical Two of Wands would show somebody basically holding a globe in their hands and seeing, where do I stand? Where is this at? It's kind of interesting that for the second card, you got the Ace of Wands. Put them together and it's manifestation. So this is showing that you're so close. It might actually be right there, right in front of you. So take the idea, ground it again in like purpose and vision, and you might actually have two things that you're working on this week. All of them could come to fruition. Really, really productive week. You got three cards basically here, because we have the original idea or a new idea coming from something that's already in motion, and potentially a third thing that's coming to fruition as well. It's a week of travel for all of my earth signs, because the Three of Wands shows ships coming in. You may need to be on the ship, or you might be meeting the ship at the dock. Don't be afraid to meet someone halfway. Follow through on what you've promised to do and be ready for new ideas to come forth. Super productive, really positive. And again, if we're adding up all the wands, a hidden Three of Wands as well. It's a great week for Earth. Just believe in yourself too. These are all basically in your head cards, 1, 2, and 3 of Wands. The one thing that could hold you back is disbelief. I talked to Libra about this, actually. It was a key tenet of their reading. And it was like, believe in yourself. I know I'm reading for Earth, but it's a very similar message there. Okay, good luck this week to all of my Earth signs. You're going to get a lot done. All right, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Ooh, we like this. For some of you, it could be new love coming through, the King of Cups. And this could also simply be a better emotional state, heightened creativity, heightened insight and emotions, and the ability to be really persuasive and great at leadership. King of Cups is a great leader because he leads with the heart. He pulls people into what he has to say because he's passionate and compassionate and empathetic. So even though this is water, you can pull this into your own communication and leadership style this week. There may also be a lovely Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio that comes forth. We talked about the partnering energy. So Monday could be a great day to partner up with a water sign to get something a little further along. But for those that are looking for love, it could be in the form of a water sign as well. And there's nothing not to like about this. It's in the upright position. Honor your emotions. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. And as long as you do that, you'll be headed in the right direction. There's a lot of hearts on this particular. I mean, he is the king of hearts in a traditional deck, but look at all of the heart energy going through all the chakras. So really listen to your heart. And I think that's everything that I have to say on that card. But beautiful energy coming through for air as well. Let's go to water. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is a joyful card. It's a wish fulfillment card, the Nine of Cups. In the upright position, it means things are flowing in the right direction. We have all these lotus blossoms at the bottom. Whatever you might have gone through that might have constituted the Three of Swords for you, I do feel like that cycle is done. It's time to celebrate the things that are working out. It's time to focus on really, again, following the emotional flow, the intuitive flow, the energetic flow this week. If something is too hard to make happen, this isn't the week to really put the energy there. Again, we're kind of going back into heart-centric energy, but follow your heart. Nothing in extremes. That's the thing. Even in the upright position, Nine of Cups can be super heightened emotions. So like best day ever, woohoo, but you make decisions that don't make sense. Or worst day ever, and you're thinking in a way that is way too limited. So wherever you're at, just take a breath or two and see if you still feel the same way, and then move forward. Really grounding yourself and not letting a single day or a single emotion rule. But otherwise, it can be pretty good. If you've been wishing or waiting or wanting something to happen, this could be cause to celebrate. Make sure you are taking time to have some fun and just don't overdo it. Pretty good week when I'm looking at the elemental breakdown. I feel like all of this culminates on Friday, as we talked about, because we did get that magician energy. So there were a few things that you need to focus on, but I think it's worth the work, everybody. So there you go. Okay, let's go ahead now and get ready for the special topic for today. And again, you chose Empress energy, success, self-fulfillment. One thing that I picked up on though, and I'll probably hold it for this maybe a second big idea card, is just to remove blocks, since that was kind of popular, I think, on the members. I'll double check it before we go, but just to get the specific verbiage. All right, so let me go ahead now. Before I get into the next component, a quick reminder. If you enjoy this, a simple like helps, and if you've never subscribed but want to make sure you see future videos, please consider doing that. All of that helps a lot. And thanks to everybody that's giving back with super stickers and super chats. We'll take a moment towards the end and acknowledge everyone. All right, let me see which cards I want to use for the main topic. This one was kind of magical. I'm going to look at this one and possibly the last unicorn if I can find it. We haven't used either of these in a while, so let's give this a good shuffle. I let the cards pick. So the highest ranking card is the one that I'm going to choose. Four of Swords. Two of Wands. Four of Swords wins. Okay. So yes, this is based on the animated movie from the 1980s, The Last Unicorn. Who did it star? I'll think of her name in a second. Okay, let me focus on this. Close your eyes, everybody. We're going to be looking at, again, success, self-fulfillment, and probably, if there's any blocks that are standing in the way, Mia Farrow, by the way, if there's any blocks standing in the way, I will help illustrate those. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm glad the deck chose itself and I was guided to pull it. This is such a beautiful illustrations on the table. I felt like we needed a little magic today. That's a super powerful card too to come through for the catalyst. Yeah, this one was a splurge purchase. It's not a cheap deck, but I like the movie and I love just the way it looks. A lot of times the movie decks disappoint, but not this one. I also don't use it all the time because I want to keep it in good condition. So this is only for special occasions. Okay, let's get started, folks. We're going to begin here first with the catalyst energy, which is the gateway. All right, so let me just get the right picture up here. Catalysts, of course, help us create necessary movement and change. And it's interesting because we have sort of like a labyrinth or a maze energy here. And the interesting thing with this is practice makes perfect is what I get. If you've ever walked through this in real life, like a labyrinth, you have to really kind of get your bearings and you're not going to be able to remember it after just one pass through. So practice makes perfect and you will find a way. And then once you've figured that out, that's something that you can lean on. So this is a good kind of like affirmation for those of you that are trying something new, developing a new process or going to school or learning something, that the rinse, the repeat, that sort of rote learning energy is going to eventually be good. And trial and error, because you're going to try different approaches until you find your way. And so now we can take that piece, and that's equally as important. Find your own way through something. What worked for someone else won't necessarily work for you. Now we can just take the word gateway, and that's what this week is presenting, is an exit and an entrance. And some of us may still feel like we're in that liminal zombie state, which is like, I've been that in different points in my life, and you have wake-up calls. Sometimes it is something like, death of a parent or loss of a job, something of that nature that kind of just shocks you into your senses. So for some of you, you may need something like that to get you out of it. But I would encourage you to, on your own volition, just try new things. Trial and error is definitely a part of learning and exploring and expanding. Let me take a drink here and then we'll go into the next portion. Okay. We're going to look at your center card, which was the deciding card for this deck. Some of you are overworked. 4 of Swords in reverse. So we can see everyone taking a nap here. When was the last time you gave yourself a chance to rest, to relax, to recalibrate? I need a certain amount of time and energy to rest or I'm not productive. And what happens then is it's like pulling eye teeth trying to get the information out. But if I get solid sleep and I wake up and I'm ready, like I do every weekend for the Sunday Collective, I'm good. So I couldn't do it on 4 hours. For me, the minimum, I can't do less than 6 if I'm going to do this. 5 with a lot of caffeine, but it wouldn't be worth it because, so yeah, I know I need about 6 hours to operate. I'm happier with 8. So figure out what your minimum is and honor that. And if you haven't taken a break, like a proper holiday, a vacation, or just if you're working on a project, I learned this when I was in college too, there comes a point at which you're not productive anymore. You just need to stop and go outside, take a deep breath, have a lunch with a friend, clear your mind. I feel like that's the main thing here is diminishing returns. Please take a break. I don't care if it's 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 5 days, something like that. I should have done it in fours, but 4 minutes, 4 hours, 4 days, whatever it is that you need, please take a break. Okay. That's the main thing that I get from that card. Magician is crossing it. We got the Magician on Friday. So right now, and I love how we have all of the elements represented here on those discs. So this Magician is kind of asking you this: what do you want? What's your wish? We saw for some of the signs of wish fulfillment coming through. I think it was like that come through for water. But so in order for the universe to help you meet your synchronicity earlier, the decisive element is key. What do you want? What is your wish? What is your desire? And then the Magician will start to work at creating that. What are you then going to do to start to move it forward? Again, really good week for connecting with your creative side, with your spiritual side. And this is the card that shows that you're a jack of all trades. And we can see all of those right there. Every element is represented. So there is no, I want you to take I can't, that 2-word phrase, out of your vocabulary this week. And like Yoda would say, even take try. Just do it. Just give it your best shot. And that is the approach. So don't even say try. Just say, I'm experiencing this. I'm approaching this. I'm doing this. And don't even put a value on it. Just experience and explore. I would, instead of saying try, just explore an opportunity, explore something new, and that's the key. You might find that you have more affinity or more acumen, aka ability to do it than you might imagine. Wheel of Fortune in the deep past. Okay, so you've already, on a cosmic, karmic, maybe even like past life level, put things into place so that this moment in time and this incarnation, something big is going to happen. The Wheel of Fortune shows me karmically you're pretty clean this week. And so all you have to do then is decide to follow through on it. This is also a cyclical card. Whenever you get like the World, the Wheel of Fortune, it can represent sort of, yeah, those are the ones that I would put timelines on. It can be like a 10 to 12 month cycle that's starting like right now when you're watching this video. So things are starting to move in a better direction and in the right direction because the Wheel of Fortune was upright. It's just a matter of you seeing, believing, and advocating for your worth. The best card that I could get for money, it's here. And for worth and for preparedness. And for, if we're going to have a gateway card and then the Wheel of Fortune accompanying it, like that's fantastic. But the gateway is about seeing the potential, seeing the path. Queen of Wands is going to help you get there. She's a visionary, actually. The King and Queen of Wands, I would connect with people that are leaders in technology or science or engineering because it's all about imagining some new possibilities. It's also very good just for general business. So I want you this week to explore things like your money and taking action on business projects, etc., stepping into the lead. This Queen of, this is Queen of Coins, isn't it? I did get a new pair of glasses, but then had to change them. So Queen of Pentacles is slightly different. So let me talk about the Queen of Pentacles. The difference here is, and maybe it helps that I for a second saw Queen of Wands. Queen of Pentacles only believes it sometimes if it's in black and white. So what I just talked about for the Queen of Wands could actually help you get past that. We talked about those of you that got the Eight of Pentacles. There could be something hidden in the small print, fine print. So if you need to kind of dig a little deeper, you might find something. But you could blend this and use a little bit of the Queen of Wands energy, which is just to think outside of the box. That's the one thing that I would say with this Queen of Pentacles. She might be too tied to facts and figures. So try to see beyond that. The good thing about the Queen of Pentacles is birthing and nurturing energy. So with this, you have the ability to basically create this week. And also, like, if you put all of your time and energy behind something, you should see some developmental work coming through. But I will say, the focusing so much on the black and white or facts and figures could hold you back from exploring things. So ideally, if you could blend a little bit of the Queen of Wands, which I was just talking about erroneously initially, but now kind of more aspirationally, and then connect it here with the Queen of Pentacles, then I think you'll be unstoppable. Okay? So now let's look at your crowning card, Page of Cups. This is connected to what we talked about today too, like when I was saying it could be a change for the better. Following your heart, all of that is going to be key here. With the Page of Cups, this is also kind of like a compass moment. Are you happy? Do you like where you're at? Is there anything that you want to change? It's really focusing on wants and needs, and listening to those and allowing them to direct your course of action. And as long as you're doing that, you're in the right direction. There could be an offer of love, or there could be something that you really, really desire coming through. Look at the cup that's forming in the cirrus clouds in the background. That's beautiful. So I had something I used to always say to my mom. It was both like figurative, but also literal, to kind of see like what was going on in the stars in the sky. But I would say, remember to look up. So if she was focusing too much on something someone said in an email, or what the neighbors were doing, or what wasn't working, I would say, take a moment, get outside, remember to look up. Look at the other side of things. Also, like, allow yourself just to gaze into the firmament and see beyond your current situation. We get a little bit of that. That can transform your emotional state. So look beyond is basically another way, whatever's in front of you, because there is a silver lining. This card is in the upright position. So we are getting a lot of love, partnership, and good news energy coming through for this week. And now to ground it in success and self-fulfillment. First of all, two things. When it comes to success, this is a card of money and resources, so is this. This is someone who can manage their money and manage whatever it is that they're working on. And this is someone that is successful because they followed their heart. And when we look at someone who really believes in what it is that they're doing, that's when they have the Midas touch. That's when things start to happen. Follow your passion. Work your passion. And success follows that. Rather than chasing money, success, and titles, push out from the heart. Remember that silly cartoon from the 80s, like the Care Bears, but it's like push it out from the heart. And that's where the magic really begins. Lo and behold, we have the Six of Wands coming through right after that, right? So this is success personified. Are these narwhals or something? But anyway, we have basically riding on the waves of success here. And everything that I just said gives you the keys to that. It's heart-based. And then really the money, the success, the opportunities comes because of the passion. It's not because you're doing something that the money's not going to bring it. The heart's going to bring it. So it's a recalibration, definitely important for success and self-fulfillment. We start with self-fulfillment. Self-fulfillment brings success. Success brings money and stability. It's not the other way around. And that's usually the way it's chased. Do something that makes you money and then find your happiness. No, find your happiness and then do something. And then then the money, the opportunities, and other things should start to roll in. It's also just a calibration piece. So let's say if we don't actually have to always have the joy derived from work. So for some of you, you're like, I just have a job and the job gives me stuff. Okay, great. Make sure that the stuff, that the energy, the resources, and all of that stuff is giving you also the time and energy to pursue passions and pursuits outside of work. Because I'm very well aware that not everybody finds it from their day job. What are you doing in your life that is creating that sense of fulfillment? Also, these two cards are reminding you that success is subjective. So define success for yourself. Don't try to chase it. Don't worry if other people get it, because she's a little doubtful, this unicorn here. And just know that if you're, at the end of the day, if you feel like you've done everything that you set out to do, if you don't have any regrets, that is a tenet of success. So it isn't just what letters are after your name as far as a degree or how many zeros are in the bank account or stuff like that. It's like, did I make a difference? Am I passionate about what I do? Do I have love and friendship in my life? Can I go to sleep with a clear conscience? To me, those are success. And then, the money can be one component of it, but all those other things matter. You can't take the money with you. You do take the lessons, you do take the love, and you do take the fulfillment. So maybe ranking those higher when it comes to what you deem successful could help you a bit. Okay. Leading the charge is also a part of success. We see that in every Six of Wands cards. There's typically one person that's ahead of everyone else, which means that sometimes you're on the leading or bleeding edge, and you're not always going to get the immediate gratification, but that doesn't mean that you're not in the right area. Okay. Eight of Cups. So this is the cyclical element that I was talking about that is connected a little bit to the zombie energy. So let's talk about that. For those that just joined, I had a weird dream where I saw basically a zombie state, which just represents somewhere between death and rebirth, right? Not being able to kind of step out of something or fully step into something. That is one of the things that would come through with the Eight of Cups. It's on again and off again. So when we're looking at relationships, for instance, this can be frustrating because it can also be hot and cold. So you don't hear from a friend for like a week or a month, and then all of a sudden they're in your business for everything for a week, and then they go absent again. So it's unpredictable. It's like there's a wiper speed that's intermittent. It kind of comes up again when you least expect it. We want to go beyond the intermittent to a more sort of predictable sort of cadence. That's one thing that I'm picking up on in relationships and activities and energies. And so you can have that conversation like, where do we stand? What are we doing? That might be one of the things to look at. This is also a second chance card. So if there's something that didn't work before, there was a song by Carly Simon in the 80s called It's Coming Around Again. It's coming around one more time. It could be love. It could be an opportunity. It's a gateway. This is a gateway week. So if you can see it and embrace it and decide that's what I want, this time around it could work. If you applied for a job and got rejected a couple years ago, you're coming around now with more experience. If you never said what you wanted to a friend or a loved one, now you have a chance to clean the slate and to get it out there. Do what needs to be done, say what needs to be said, and then let the cycle go if you need to, okay? This is also connected to vacations and breaks. This can be like a sabbatical or a holiday. I'll pull the traditional card while we're speaking here, but normally we see someone taking a hike basically on the card. Before making a major decision, if you can buy yourself a night or a few days to clear your mind and get perspective, that's key. Major decisions, you usually have that time. Like if you're accepting a job, they normally give you at least a day to talk to your partner, to sleep on it. Sleeping on it is the Four of Swords, of course, too. So all of those things come into to play here. A door isn't permanently closed with this card either. So here's your traditional Eight of Cups. Literally, they're taking a hike. But what you can do on this is, if you don't want, like, let's say you're going to school or you're working in a job, or even if you're in a relationship and you're not sure, like this is what you want. Oftentimes there are sabbaticals or leave or just time and distance. Say, I need some time. By doing that, you can figure out what it is that you truly want. Sometimes you have to miss something to understand its value. So particularly when it comes to a career path or an educational path. A relationship, you can't kind of leave someone hanging, because that was what I was talking about. But those two paths, I think it's important to really get your head on straight before deciding what to do. Okay? All right. Yeah, if you can't tell, I grew up formative years. There was a lot of 80s influences, so I love 80s music. Okay, environment, Four of Pentacles. This is interesting. So with the Four of Pentacles, there could be someone that's coming in. I get a crafty vibe from this that is willing to take as much as you're willing to give. This is in the environment. It's not you, not necessarily an aspect of you, but you are attracting it. So this is not enough. No matter how you look at the Four of Pentacles, it's not enough. It could also be a clingy person. So it can be in an unexpected way too. So let's say you're at a job that you've outgrown, but the boss puts a guilt trip on you, like, well, what am I going to do without you? Or please don't ever leave me. I could never survive without you. But they're not paying you enough. Or you've you've outgrown the experience. Remember on that magician card, we had the snake skin. It's ready for you, like the universe is ready for you to kind of try something new. That's someone that's doing that. Parents do it too. You know, like, oh, I don't know what I would do without you. Oh, why, how, you can't move that far away. So we want to be mindful of not giving into that, not feeding it, because it's a greedy and a hungry energy, and it'll take as much as you're willing to give. Don't let someone's fears or inadequacies or codependencies inhibit your growth. Obviously, you don't want to leave someone hanging, but if it's habitual, if it's characteristic of that relationship where they use it as an anchor, not good. And that's the one thing that I see there. In a negotiation, ask for more. You're worth more. Clearly, you're worth more. Sometimes we have to take a short-term thing that is just like a job or project, or we're going to give a little bit more for a short amount of time because it's the best thing in front of us. But this is temporary then. This has a temporary vibe to it. So if you're going to do something, you need to bake in the possibility to come back and review and then amp up resources in the long run. That's what I'm getting there. Because it's in the environment, very different interpretation. This is someone else's energy pulling you in and not giving you enough. Okay? So just be mindful of that. Don't step into situations where they're taking more than they're giving. Hopes, fears, and opportunities. You know, I get a lot of energy. You know I don't read love just for the sake of it, but I won't avoid it if I see it. So your head is in the right place this week to attract love and energy and opportunities. Some of you may be afraid to put yourself out there again. So we have the Ace of Cups, a beautiful Ace of Cups here. I look for this when I'm in a relationship spread because your energy has to be in this overflowing mode before you go into a relationship. Otherwise, it's one where there's too much leaning on the other person. So everything I just said is key here. I feel like some of you are just getting out of a cycle where the last relationship or even a familial or a work relationship is in this space. So what you have to do first is to release this so that you can allow more to come in. It seems counter to like by letting go, more will come, but that's how it works. So if something isn't enough, I can't believe I forgot to say it on this one, but yeah, the Four of Pentacles is the devil you know. I hate that phrase because I would immediately say to someone, it's still the devil. So I will leave the devil I know and I will take a chance that I won't experience the devil in something new. Thank you very much. So the devil you know is not good enough. It's the devil. And you see it and you know it. So why would you embrace the devil you know? You're not going to be able to manage up to that devil. The devil always wins the contracts. It's not someone that you want to do anything with in love, in friendship, or at work. And I've been through that, speaking from being burned in the fire. Like I had a boss once and I thought, well, I'll just manage up to their inadequacies. Lo and behold, months in, they were, what was the best word? They were afraid that I would kind of like step in and then take their job. I didn't care. I was just trying to make sure that stuff was done, but their own fears or inadequacies came through. So when you try to play with fire, you get burned. So if there's something that's not enough, or if you think you can deal with it, it's time to move on. And this is very much connected to the Tower energy from today. So just let it go. Don't try to manage that. Try new things, explore new opportunities. Much better to take a risk on opportunity than to stick with the devil you know. Okay, there we go. I got passionate about that because I've been through it and I'd rather you not have to go through that. Okay? Take care of yourself. Focus on, I mentioned emotional and mental health. We oversee that. We undervalue that every day. So if you are in a really sort of difficult period right now, we've all been there, whether it's loss of a job, it can just be chemical imbalance, whatever's going on, honor that right now, okay? Take care of yourself. Good things are on the horizon here. This is also what I would hope to see after the zombie message that I got in dreams, which is resurrection, rebirth, renewal. So we have Judgment card here, which represents all of that, but it also is asking you, are you ready? I'm going to pull the traditional card for just a second. It's one of the angelic cards in tarot. So I love that we're seeing your outcome being led by spirit and higher self. What it requires, though, is a decision within that I am ready. Let's do this. Gabriel is blowing the horn here and saying, it's time, rise up, but you still have to answer the call. So if you're ready to answer the call, the zombie liminal space that I saw is done, and we have rebirth and opportunity and something bigger, better, and brighter. Literally, that's right after this is the world. But judgment is, I believe in myself, I am ready, I see it. Seeing the outcome is so important today. So I see it, I believe it, I trust it, and then moving forward. And just, there are no accidents. Don't underestimate your value, and don't, because I saw the Queen of Wands, I read the card, but it was different. So there could be something in front of you where your expectations blind you, because it happened to me right here in the reading. So you may be blinded by the shiny money. You may not see your worth. You may see something and think it's worth more than it is. So that's why the Eight of Cups and the Four of Swords came through. Take a step back, recalibrate, and then you always have a chance to course correct, just like I did in the live reading here. All right, we're going to expand here. Health, wealth, love, and destiny. Beginning here with health. Again, it's not just your body, it's also your emotional state and your mental state as well. Here's what we got in the, this makes me laugh. Okay, so in health, we've got chaos. So the chaos card, this is basically the tower, right? We have storm spirit. But the cool thing about a storm is you can see it coming, folks. Are you going to do something about it or not? If you wait, then you just go into the energy of the tower. But if you prepare or go in a different direction, the storm isn't going to affect you. So many of you are on the heels of, but not quite there, or like it's on the precipice is a better word. You're on the precipice of entering into stormy weather, but you don't have to. So you could just decide to avoid the chaos or to deal with the chaos and say, I'm only going to do this if, and you set up what your parameters are for engagement. Looking at it just from a body perspective, time to clean your house, home, apartment, car, etc. A tower energy, when we're looking at health or environment, can show that it's time to clean things up. When we're looking at your diet in general, really looking at a cleaner way of eating. I'm not a dietitian or a doctor, so you can work with one of those in your life to make sure it's right for your body. But this shows too much of everything or a lack of organization. So maybe you're eating, sleeping, and working at erratic hours, and it's chaotic. So a little chaos can be fun. A lot of chaos throws your mental and physical well-being into, turmoil. So we don't want that to happen. So clean up the chaos, folks, this week. I think it has to do with we talked about the Two of Pentacles energy. It's coming back in here again, making some smart choices. And even the one for today that I was reading, like the daily card read for the Tower and the Knight of Cups, like listening to your heart and making a change for the better. All of that's going to be a part of this. All right, let me specifically look at what energy blocks might be coming through. Let me take a drink. Okay. Interruptions in your sleep. And it could actually be caffeine, as I take a drink of caffeine, because the Magician has with it alchemy or chemical pieces. So really focus on what you're putting into your body, and that might be absolutely affecting your lack of or inability to sleep through the night. If you're having sleep problems, you should talk to your primary physician or an ENT, because it can actually be like breathing problems, chemical problems, other things. But it's important. If you don't have sleep quality, everything suffers. Four of Pentacles in the environment. Again, this can actually be tension as we're looking at health. You holding on to something and then it finds a different way to go through the body. So because there's a tightness to the Four of Pentacles, shoulders, jaw, and even hypertension. We don't want any of that, obviously. So exercise, therapy, and reducing some of these stress elements in your life are going to be key. There's a tightness there that I don't like. Tight muscles as well. So it could be time for a massage. Most of the other cards are actually pretty good. The Judgment card here is a second chance. So I'm going to pull the traditional one again. Some of you may have had an NDE, a near-death experience, or a brush with like a health scare, And it's a wake-up call, literally. Like, this is the biggest wake-up call card you can get. So heed the call, heed the warning, and you get a second chance to do better, okay? And otherwise, I like what we see here in the near future, which is if you decide to put your energy behind change and movement, we see success coming through. All right, I think that's everything for health. Let's move on to wealth. Resources, life purpose, and career. I'm just going to leave the graphic up while we look at this. So in wealth, we have the divine physician. You can fix it, folks. We have the second angel coming through in this, Archangel Raphael. We have Gabriel in the judgment card. Thank you, Raphael, for sharing your divine light upon my healthy body. Health is wealth. No accident that we got a health card in wealth. So if your job is inhibiting or somehow causing you to go in a negative health spiral, you need to remedy that. What good is money if you can't enjoy it? What good is success if your body isn't what it needs to be? So this is really putting the primary focus in healthy work environments, health in general, healthy relationships, healthy relationship with money. This is a fixing card. So if there is something that you don't like, debt, for instance, or amount that you're getting paid or whatever, Raphael is coming through to help you fix the issues with it. And we saw karmically, it's time. This is the week to bring in the Wheel of Fortune energy, okay? So health is more important than wealth. Health is wealth. And you owe it to yourself to fight for your worth this week because we have the Wheel of Fortune. And you can change your monetary cycles because we have the Devil You Know card right over the cycle card here, or right by it. So this is time to kind of like release those old attachments or old things that we were doing with money, focus on healthier approaches. Okay, we're gonna break it down into specific areas to help you. Those that are employed, seeking employment, and then I'll look at students and retirees at the end. For employment, that includes entrepreneurial energy. I'll wrap it into that as well. So people that work at a traditional company, not entrepreneurs, here's what I see. Too many work hours, possibly boredom. By the way, sleepy cards can just be this feeling of like sitting at your desk thinking, I can't do one more Zoom call, spreadsheet, or meeting. Got it, I've been there, done that. Or it could be, I'm working so many hours that the caffeine isn't working and I just can't do it. To which I would say, health is wealth. Something has to give. If I could go back, I mean, I was too nice all the years that I used to work in, nice isn't the word, I was too accommodating to all of those bosses and companies that I worked at, and I would put in hours and not charge them. Now I would say no, or this is it, this is all I could do in the time that was given. Or I would ahead of time just say, we're not going to finish this by tomorrow. I know you want to, but we're going to have to bring more people on the team to get this done. Because you can't sacrifice your health. Life isn't necessarily short, but it does have a finite end. Make it count, make it worth it, and don't give up valuable time to something that you're not invested in or to someone who doesn't give back, okay? So that's important. That's why the Queen of Pentacles is coming through and saying, no, I'm worth more than this, or no, we can't do this without ample support. Creative energy coming through. So the key to your success is using the empathy, the creativity, the passion in a way that helps people see that you're there for them, but they just have to be there for you too. It's a 50-50, it's a two-way street, right? On the bright side, I will say this. This is a week where you could shatter the glass ceiling. We have success and judgment. Literally, this is a breakthrough. So sometimes all people were waiting for was you to say no. And they're like, oh, okay, I see the leadership potential now. Because finally you're standing up for yourself. It has to be in a way that is, you have to be thoughtful about how you're saying no and advocating for more and whatever. But as you start to show more leadership potential, people are going to see you in a different light, if you want to be seen in that direction. On a different sort of cycle, some of you are so done with your jobs. This is boredom and or exhaustion. They're not exclusive. They can go hand in hand. And then this is, I'm done with it. The good news is we have two cards of extreme value here. So I would say now is the time to start seeking, and we'll look more at that in just a second. I want to touch on entrepreneurs first. But I'm just validating that some of you are done with it. For both present workers and entrepreneurs, your biggest sort of like calling card here is your ability to do anything. People can throw anything in your direction and you have like this magic touch, but it is exhausting at a certain point, right? Entrepreneurs, this is you going out there and really, it's kind of like back when Steve Jobs was alive and he would do his keynotes and he was talking about a bunch of stuff that we didn't understand, but he was just very compelling. Your enthusiasm can pull everybody in, even if they don't understand what it is that they're getting involved with. They're just like, I don't know, you're so excited, I want to be on this team. So don't underestimate the importance of rolling up your sleeves and being the face or the voice of the product or the service. That could be really important. And also just for people that are working, your communication skills are really, really key. And we saw that even like, I believe it was Sunday of next week when the Queen of Swords came through, that's especially a strong day for you for communication. You're not a one-trick pony, anybody, and there's a chance now to come back and do something or again, break through. So big changes on the career front for many of you. Could be some layoffs. If this is happening, you're probably gonna land on your feet with all of these cards. Just if you see the storm coming, get ahead of it and look before that happens. All right, for job seekers, here's what I see. I don't like the immediate offer on the table. It feels like when it comes to negotiation, either this, okay, if the money looks good, someone's holding something back because there's a greedy or a withholding energy with the Four of Pentacles. So I definitely want you to have someone else look at the contract and make sure that you understand the language of the contract, because there could be something missing. But there's probably the ability to get a little bit more if you ask nicely, not in a sort of demanding, entitled way, but use your facts and figures on this one and say, this is standard, I don't see it in this, can we make it happen? We have like two cards that are pretty good here. The Ace of Cups can just be, yes, happiness, but the Judgment card here with an Ace of Cups reversed could be someone pushing you to do something that your heart doesn't resonate with. If your heart's not in it, don't do it. This is one of the reasons, by the way, for many of you know I'm looking for a new apartment. I am so picky this time. If I find one thing or if it just doesn't feel right, I'm like, nope, I've been through too many experiences. I'll wait another week or another month until I find the right thing. When it comes to certain things, if you're looking for a job and you have a job and you're looking, because you can be the combination of those two, be very discerning. If you're looking, but what's in front of you, you think might just really be, it's not a match. Unless you have to take it, don't. There seems like there's something better just beyond that. So really make sure that you feel good about it. Because if you have to talk yourself into it or if people are pressuring you into it, it's probably not the right match. I really want you to pay attention to, culture, work culture and work morale. Especially if you're entering into a place where there's restructuring. Some of you might be going into a startup or a company that has just merged with another one. A lot of times that makes sense, by the way. I saw the carnage. I saw like the zombies. People can just feel like, where am I at? Like, gosh, that totally makes sense for this. So if you're in that environment, I didn't like it. Really make sure you understand, like talk to the people that are there and see how they feel about the changes, because it felt like it was a limbo state. And if you're in a company that's about to restructure, really make sure that you have a voice in that restructuring and you have like a parachute plan, because it felt like they just weren't thinking through what it would be like after. You see this all the time with companies. They lay people off, then try to hire them back. By the way, if that's you, that might be something to think about. If they were short-sighted enough initially to do that, if you take that job back, I would still look for another one, because it's not the same, right? They kind of broke the connection there a little bit. For everybody else, I have three cards that are great here. Page of Cups, Six of Wands, Judgment. There's a decision on the line. Just don't accept less than you're worth. And it feels like you'll be in a good position. And six being like 6 days from now. By next Saturday, a decision should be made there as well. If you're looking for work and trying to figure out where you can do it, go back to something. I very rarely would say this, but if you were rejected before, or if there's something that didn't work before, this is something from the past. So there may be a past opportunity that's reemerged and you're ready for it now. Retirees, and then I'll go to students. Here's what I see for you. Many of you are looking at the money and just making sure that you're very comfortable and okay with what's going on. And I think that's smart right now. Don't spend unnecessarily. Don't live in a fear-based sort of reality with that. But I think it is a good time to kind of look and understand like where you're at. Get on top of the money situation. For those that are feeling good about it, the Judgment card is a decision to sort of do something now, because if not now, then when? So you may decide to go back to school. You may decide to, take a dream vacation. This is you looking at your bucket list and saying, I don't want regrets. I want to do this now. And you don't owe anybody else an explanation if it's something you truly desire. The Success card is kind of interesting here. If you have you might have a public speaking opportunity or a chance to step up and get other people excited. They want to follow you. There is leadership opportunity coming through for sure. Students, please take care of your health. I think some of you are burned out. And I know that in the Northern Hemisphere here, school is done. I mean, I think it's done everywhere. It's just seasons that we change. But the summer months, I'm all for internships. I'm all for working. But I feel like you really want to look at how much you need some time off. You need some time to recalibrate. So don't fill up your schedule so much. If you're doing summer classes, maybe just take it down to 1, not 2 or whatever. Less is more. That's the main thing that I'm getting for student energy. And the Judgment card here is also interesting because it's showing you that this is recent graduates actually. You don't just because you studied one thing doesn't mean that you can't wrap your experience and your degree into doing something else, or it's looking beyond what the degree itself is. So I am not a journalist yet. That is my initial degree. The second one was a lot closer to what I'm doing because it was film and editing, new media. So I wrap them all together and I tell stories through new media. So it works, but I'm not Anderson Cooper, for instance. So you don't know what you're going to do with your degrees in the long run. Allow yourself to just kind of explore and take the winding path to whatever it might be. I do ask questions to cards and guides, and I do engage with people. I do podcasts and things of that nature, but I'm not doing what I thought. I'm not working for a newspaper or TV network. So just kind of give yourself room to explore different options in the long run. Okay? Okay, let's move on. A little bit more briefly into love, because success and self-fulfillment may fall within those categories, but let's just see what's coming through for that. Okay, love. Wow. Wow with a capital W and 3 exclamation points. It says stellar gateway activation, infinite potential, manifestation vortex. All right, Kyle Gray, those are a lot of words. It's a gateway. Stellar gateway though, stellar gateway activation. Believe in yourself. Things are manifesting and happening now. Remember when I pulled the 2 of Wands and the Ace of Wands? That was just showing how quickly things could happen. Was that for Earth? I got that, I think. So we can see things happening right here, right now. If you've been trying to manifest an ideal partnership for business or for love, or if you're looking for new friends, now is the time to get out there. This isn't hermit phase. It's say yes to invitation phase. All right, let's look at these cards and see what's going on here. We're going to look at it from 3 perspectives. In a relationship, looking for a relationship, happily single. If you're in a relationship, I like that the Page of Cups is in the crowning position. Emotions are flowing pretty freely here. It looks like you've worked hard for the success in your relationship. You value one another. There's a challenge going on for some of you, though. There could be a loss in the family. 4 of Swords is a card of transformation, as is Judgment. This is usually the aftermath of death or loss. There's a peace to the 4 of Swords, if I'm looking at a death card, which is kind of nice. It's putting something to rest and supporting one another through that change. Can also be like a very gentle movement into a new phase. I was talking about retirees. They're not out of the mix here when I'm looking at love. So this is sort of saying, what are we going to do in this next chapter, right? Whatever it is, a chapter has closed, Judgment, but something else begins. And as long as you want to do that together, you can do it. 8 of Cups is also showing a cyclical sort of thing that's coming through. And again, there's a choice here. Like, do we want to keep doing this, or do we want to deviate and try something different? The only challenge in current in relationships is this enough? Is this enough for our time and energy? What it might be a joint sort of thing that you're working on. You may feel like your partner's holding back a little bit, and you just want more honesty, more transparency. The good news here is we don't have the devil, we don't have the Ten of Swords, we don't have the Tower. So as long as you're both willing to work through those sort of, tendencies of holding back, I feel like you're going to be okay. Some of you have made a decision to move in a different direction, and that's going to help us segue into looking for love. But for everyone else, I like what I see here. One last note, though, before we go into looking for love. Queen of Pentacles is about the home and could be a card of children. We have a page coming through, which we don't see gender. It can be boy or it can be girl. But there could be a pregnancy after a period where you thought it wasn't going to happen, or a miscarriage. But I see a new one coming through, a surprise baby. Or you thought, I'm not going to have a kid, and then you have a miracle baby. And there could be this sort of reckoning that happens, like, oh my God, are we ready for this? How are we going to do this? Are we going to do this? Whatever's going through your head, there's that reckoning too that I just picked up on because I got a couple cards of loss, and then I got a really happy card. So be that as it may. Let's look now at those that are looking for love. Everything I just said about a baby could actually also come true for those that are looking for love. You signed yourself out. You said, it's not going to happen. I'm too busy. I'm too old. I'm not this. I'm not that enough. Because you decided not to focus on it, surprise, the universe says, okay, we're bringing some possibilities in. But I do think many of you are very busy this week with the Six of Wands. A lot of social and extracurricular things going on. You may not have the time to invest in it. So if you can't, don't say no, full stop. This is a card that is like, how about next week? Or how about late? Like, just know your limits this week and don't overcommit. We're just looking at 7 days. So that Four of Pentacles could just mean like you're overdoing it. Queen of Swords on, actually there were two cards that were good. It was Friday, Magician, Queen of Swords on Sunday. So those 2 days would be great. And then the rest of the week you could just say, I'm busy, but this day works. Or next week is better. So I feel like it's more about pushing it out until you have availability. What kind of energy is coming through? You're not going to need me to read for it. When the Magician comes through, your heart skips a beat. You feel this sort of connection. It's vibrant. There's chemistry. So if you're not feeling the chemistry, don't settle. Don't do it. If you're feeling the chemistry, yes, this is what we're looking for. Past life energy with Judgment and the Four of Swords. They're actually like past life partners. Queen of Swords. I'm sorry, Queen of, I'm going to say this Queen is everything. Queen of Coins coming through with the Eight of Cups. So past life energy here with the Earth sign, who has something tricky because I keep reading her as different things and I never do that. And I'm wondering what it is about this energy. So get to know this person a little bit better because I can't even read them in the cards. And that's unusual. I keep seeing it and something else is coming out of my mouth. So I wonder if part of this is you trying to be someone you're not, or trying to meet up to expectations, or them doing that. So one thing that I would say that you could do this week that will really help if you're looking for love is think of it this way. If you can't be yourself with the person that you're going to potentially be partners with, who can you be? So like on a date, don't try to hype yourself up. Don't try to like be something that you're not. Be authentic. Obviously, wear a nice outfit, brush your teeth, comb your hair. Be the best version of yourself. But like, don't try to put on a front. If that's not enough, if the best version of you isn't enough for them, it's never going to be. So otherwise, we're seeing all of these different, it's almost like the face keeps changing. Just be you, okay? Yeah, Spirit's having fun with me today. But I'm on it. I'm Queen of Pentacles, you're a tricky one today. All right. I think that's everything for this. Looking at those that, so we just did in a relationship, seeking love, happily single. If you're happily single, good for you. Many of you have just gotten a lot. There's a lot going on here. So Wheel of Fortune and Six of Wands shows me success in work, success in personal development. I think the main reason that you may be happily single is there's a lot of people that have taken more than they should have, or you've given more than you should have, but it's a lesson in the past. It doesn't indicate everything for the future. I'm actually going to encourage those that are single and happy to be open to networking opportunities, because we have the Page of Cups here. By the way, the Page of Cups, we could have a water sign coming in for everybody this week too. But the Page of Cups is someone who's looking for something that they haven't found either. So what you're looking for could just be a little bit unexpected. Younger, different sort of like background, because the page is young, or just sort of like surprise, you're both in the right place at the right time. Be open to those kinds of happy surprises in new partnerships. Generally speaking, though, it's just a successful week. A lot can get done. I see many of you just very, very busy. Take care of yourself. I think it's important to, if you have the time, resources, and ability to take a trip or take a break, now is the time to do that. Let's look at destiny. The hardest thing sometimes is just creating space. So we have the empty room coming through here in the destiny card. It's okay to not have everything spelled out. When we're kids, I don't know, I mean, it's been a while, it's been a minute since I've been a kid, but I do remember people pressuring you at different points. Are you dating anybody? Do you know what you want to do when you grow up? Do you know where you're going to go to school? I don't think it ever really stops, but people don't ask all of those questions. They may ask the dating question or whatever, but you have permission from the cards in the universe, you don't need it from me, to just say, I'm open. I'm open right now to the possibilities. I haven't made my mind up yet. I'm considering things. People want to put you into a box. You don't have to be in a box if you don't want to be in a box. Hold some space for opportunities and explore new things. And when someone says, what do you want? Just say, well, what do you want? What's going on with this? Like, just throw the questions back at them. Because, it's none of their business at the end of the day. So this is a week where not everything may be completely spelled out. The empty room, empty doesn't mean that it's going to always be empty. It's like moving into a house. You don't want it fully staged and decorated. You want to be able to put your own stamp on it. So be comfortable if you can with the space of exploration. And also, just tell people to mind their business. Why are people so curious sometimes? So invested in, what's going on in every aspect of your life. It's kind of like it's a TV drama. And at some point you're like, that's on you. All right, we're going to look at a big idea. I want to just go back to the community tab for a second, because I got this idea today when I was looking at it. So let me look real quick. So the members were choosing create a block. All right, so I'm going to look at success and blocks here. So basically what you can do to be successful first, and then how you can kind of unblock yourself. Just because I felt passionate about that too. And I did the math though, and I'm like, there weren't enough votes from members, probably because I put the poll up late, to push it over, but it felt like something that I wanted to see. All right, so first things first, on topic. What can you do to be more successful and to have that self-fulfillment? And then, we got the Tower. And then what can you do to get unblocked? Okay. So, success. Hello. Very connected to today's daily card reading. The Tower. The Tower card is in the reverse state. That means that you get to control, to some degree, how you want to deal with the change. I like to look at the reverse Tower as a surfer that is saying, I'm going to get on the wave. I'm going to try to land on my feet. I'm not going to fight change. You may also, for instance, like let's say you are working in a company where there's going to be a change of ownership, restructuring, etc. You have conversations with your manager before it all happens and say, if we're going to change things, I want to speak up on how I'd like to be in this sort of new reorganization. In a relationship, if things aren't going the way that you want, you actively work with the partner to try to make the necessary changes. If you see change coming, you prepare for it. You just don't wait. You basically get ahead of it, or you go right into the necessary changes right now. It's also just the universe saying, you can't stop it. So if something has happened, let's say again, it is like a layoff, or it can also be good. I like to remind you, Tower events can be good. Birth of a child, new contract, new opportunity, sale of a house. when that paper, when that opportunity, when that news crosses your desk, your life already changed. It's different. You're now different. It's now not going back. It's like, well, what am I going to do with this news of change? Am I going to answer the call? Am I going to allow myself to move into this gateway, which we got time and again here, and just say, all right, let's see where it takes me. That's how you can be successful. Embracing, acknowledging, and being the agent of change. What was I looking at? Oh, how to unblock yourself. You're not your parents. You're not your friends. It's none of their business. You don't have to be in a relationship to be happy. You don't have to please others to be happy. The Ten of Cups is a card of joy, fulfillment, family, love, marriage, all those things. The reversal of this is saying how, when, and if you do any of these things, it's your own business. It's also saying, like, sometimes the people we love the most, our friend, our parent, our partner, can put the most pressure upon us. Push back. I just recently got this card where I said the Ten of Cups in the reverse state is showing you. Miracles can happen. If you don't get accepted, like this is especially true for those of you that need to do something that's unpopular with your family, and they may put an ultimatum on the line. If you do this, you're no son or daughter of ours. That's the biggest loss that they could have. But for you should not sacrifice your happiness for quote unquote success or approval. Be yourself, give them a chance to see you as you truly are. Typically they'll come around. If they don't, they never were going to. And that's not you, that's them. And this is true of anyone, whether it's friends, parents, or a boss, or anyone in your life that could cast judgment on you or has a vested interest in you or whatever. You have to write your own script at this point. And in doing so, you'll pull in your own familial tribe. That's often better and more reliable than the one that we inherit through blood. Can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. And that's kind of my takeaway with that final card there. So there you go. It's a pretty powerful message. Love and acceptance begins within, and then it attracts other people who have that same love and acceptance and all of that. I don't know if I'm sassy, but I am direct today. So I am very passionate today about all the cards. So let's go ahead now, and I'm just kind of shaking up this last portion here because we don't do a singing bowl anymore here because of copyright stuff. Like the AI and the algorithm incorrectly identifies any musical stuff as being copyrighted, so I just don't do it. So I think what we can do instead is, I don't know if we need to meditate so much today because I feel like there's a lot that came through. What I'm going to do is just help you ground your thoughts really quickly, and then we'll take a look at the final card. So if you will, just close your eyes, and we've talked about a lot today. Your thoughts could be in a lot of different directions. Let's do a simple exercise here. I'd like you to plant your feet firmly on the ground. Close your eyes, put your hands on your heart. And I want you to think about this very powerful statement, which is you are your own best advocate. I want you to see and feel the power that you have, to value yourself. And in this moment, even if it is just for a few breaths, I want you to put some love within and just think to yourself, thank you, mind, body, self, for being here with me every step of the way. You're strong, you're powerful, you're capable. As you breathe, I want you to imagine that you're pulling through from the center of this earth power, strength, and grounding. On the exhale, I'd like you to let go of anyone or anything in your life that has made you feel less than, has made you been afraid to spread your wings or not move forward. See yourself as powerful, capable, and ready. Focus now, if you will, on one final question. When you're ready, open your eyes. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Okay, So we have a kind of humorous Nine of Cups coming through here. The Nine of Cups in the reverse state. This is interesting. It has a very specific message from the movie. This was a skeleton that really enjoyed to drink, but could not really get much out of it once he had passed on and was kind of like haunting this. This is from the what was it? The Last Unicorn. So what we're looking at here is chasing a past experience, a high, a relationship from the past that's already come to pass. So it's not about repeating past glory. It's not about trying to recapture the attention of someone that has moved on. Or in this case, trying to experience the same joy from something that just doesn't deliver anymore. So a great example of this is if you listen to a song 3 million times, at a certain point, sometime it's just not gonna, you're like, I can't listen to that again. That's what happens when things are overplayed on the radio. It's just like, no, hard pass. So sometimes we've just outgrown something and it's time to find a new way to get inspired. Nine of Cups in reverse in this case is not chasing the past. It's seeing the present and exploring future opportunities for joy. Because if you try to chase the past high, it's never going to be as good. It's never going to be the same. So new love, new experience, new relationships, new opportunities, thanks to that very unique interpretation of the Nine of Cups. And then not going to extremes. Not feeling like something, it doesn't have to be the best day ever. This is something with cultivated stuff on, social media. People are always smiling, look amazing, everything. Like today just has to be the best day possible. And if you're doing that, then that is your connection to success, folks, okay? I hope you enjoyed. I'm so happy I was able to do a live stream. I wasn't sure yesterday. I thought I might have to do a live premiere. I much prefer live streams if I can do them because it's fun. The energy of being present with all of you makes a difference. Speaking of making a difference, as I said before, like and subscribe if you haven't. It helps more than you might imagine. You can also get reminders on social media so you know what's going on. I did post to the community tab, to Facebook, to Threads, to Instagram, to Twitter, just giving you a heads up on schedule and stuff like that. So it's good to follow me on at least one other social media platform just in case notifications don't come through here. You can also, by the way, find all of this on my website as well. Remember, there are a few imposters that pop up from time to time. I don't offer private readings. I don't use direct messages. So if anybody tries to fool you in any of those guises, you know that that is not me, so block and report. Thanks to everybody that gave back. I saw that we had some gifted memberships and we have some new members and some stickers. So I want to take a couple minutes to give a shout out to all of you. So thanks to everybody just for showing up. That's more than enough. I'm going to thank everybody else that went above and beyond, but I just want to say I'm just grateful that I can be a part of your week ahead. So thank you for that. Okay. Let's look at membership first, and then I'll say thanks to anybody that gifted, and then we'll look at super stickers and super chats. So for members, welcome back to the following. Let's see here. We have Michelle, Handy. Okay, actually, let me go further down. There was a few more. Sorry. Okay, so Michelle, this one, is it Coyet Play, I think it is? Yeah. Lexi, Janet, Nicole, Handy, Astro Tarot, Christina, Susan, Janice, John, and Jet Marie. Thanks, guys. Let's take a look now at those who perhaps gifted some of these. So I'll go to fan funding, and let's see what's going on here. Okay. A couple of other ones. I don't know if I said hi to John, Susan, and Lexi. If I didn't, I saw those at the top as well. Marjorie, 32 months. Thank you so much. Glad that you were able to catch this live as well today. Let's see who else. Colette, gifting 5 memberships. That's super generous of you. And welcome to everyone that got a membership from Colette. Let's see. Sarah Sunshine, thank you for 13 months of membership. I'm really happy that you were able to come here, and I'm glad that if you see me as an older brother, I appreciate it. Thank you. Lucy, thank you for gifting 1 membership. Lorna, thank you for 31 months of membership. Whoa, Lydia Fitzgerald, 45 months. I can't even do the math. That's a long time, but thank you. Renee, thank you for 16 months as well. Really happy that you guys are here, and thanks for all your patience through moves and changes of technology and all this stuff. I know a lot of you have been here since the beginning, and I appreciate it. Okay, so let's go to super stickers right now and give a little shout out to everybody. All right, so for super stickers today, just give me a second to get the tab open. Here's who I've got. Yoga Rising, Lucy, Charlotte, Inner Sparkle Monkey, Monica, and Rosie. Thanks, guys. And let me see if I missed anything here. I think that's just about everything. Yay. All right, folks. I hope that you enjoyed today's reading. It's going to be a busy week. I've been looking for new apartments and doing a lot of work. So I think I'm going to be releasing a video per day this week. So definitely keep an eye out. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be a week of videos for the most part. So definitely stay connected. And I just want to say thank you so much for all that you guys do, for being a part of this. Thank you, Dakota, for showing up today. And I will see all of you again 1 week from today. I'm going to take Apollo for a walk, who's chilling out behind us. Until then, wishing you all the best. Lots of love and light. Have a fantastic week ahead. We are at the end of May, entering into June. Wishing you a great month, a great start to the new month as well. Take care.